Guys, I'm back in the Conjuring House again. We are, I think, less than 2 hours away from getting ready to do a live investigation and a live seance.
We understand you came from the land. We understand their secrets. You hear that? Seth. Seth? What about Seth?
Seth, do you feel better? Just give it some time.
No, it doesn't.
No? No. Okay.
Let's
May I?
So suddenly Seth is feeling a little bit vulnerable to the energies that have been affecting us. So right now, Megan's going to kind of cleanse him from anything that he feels vulnerable to. So intensifying. So suddenly Seth is feeling a little bit vulnerable to the energies that have been affecting us. So right now, Megan's going to kind of cleanse him from anything that he feels vulnerable to. So go ahead, Megan, do your thing, and then the live feed's going to keep continuing after this.
We're just going to kind of reset you, so it's all good, okay? All right, so look in your eyes, okay? And then deep breath in. And out. 2 more times. The initial negative energy.
This is my belly.
And entities from his space. Only positivity and positive energies and entities near. I banish all negative energies and entities from his space. Only positivity and positive energies and entities. Let it go. You're holding on.
I feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah, it's okay. Okay. Alright, so what I need you to do is imagine you need to shut that door inside you, okay? Go into your room at home, okay? Imagine your room and your door. 3, 2, 1. Shut that door. Turn that key to lock. You're in your own space. You're in your own room. All is you. All is you. You're safe. You are loved. It's all you. No one, nothing else. You do not give license to anything to be in your room. You do not give license to anything to be in your room.
How do you feel, Seth? Better? More grounded? Weird?
I'm good now.
You good?
That was heavy.
Like whatever,
Yeah, it was
whatever
really
that
heavy.
was.
What happened?
I don't know.
He had
Some, like, it was, whatever it was like, you know when you get a splinter and it goes several layers deep? It felt like that, but with, like, energy.
So it was like attached to you or something?
That's what it felt like. She was like, you know, let it go. I genuinely, like, was trying to go limp, let it go. But, like, I just couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever.
Yeah, no, you were like shaking and stuff, and you looked like you were getting pale.
Oh, yeah.
I could tell.
Yeah.
I could tell.
I knew it
Yeah, you
instantly.
seen, right?
Mm-hmm. I could tell. And
Yeah.
when
I
they
saw
asked
it.
if he was feeling better, I knew he wasn't.
Yeah, you guys asked. Yeah.
Just by doing this for so long, I've had it happen. When
Yeah.
you zone out and you black out, and you just feel like you're somebody else. Like it's another layer or somebody that... It's kind of like somebody else is here transparently moving through the back of your spine. Usually is where it occurs is in the spine.
Right.
Spirit or energy, lingering people, they will move through you and connect with you and then speak and look through you, and it's just very strange.
It's so weird that you say, like, through the spine.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, throughout this entire seance, I've had back pain.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that was crazy. For starters, guys, I just want to say I'm okay. I think that the cleansing worked. I haven't felt anything weird since that night. Haven't really felt like anything's been with me. I don't feel that same, like, energy feeling in my body like I did that night. Really quick, the reason why I'm just kind of sitting here talking to you is because I want to, like, explain to you guys how that felt and what it felt like and how it just was not fake at all. I really want to stress that this was not something that I was doing to get views or to like draw attention to myself or grow my channel or anything like that. It has nothing to do with it. This was an unexpected experience that like You know, me and Josh joked about this over the phone about a couple hours before the seance even started. Like, oh yeah, dude, if anything's gonna happen, it's gonna happen to you. That's what Josh said to me. And fast forward, something actually did happen to me. Did not expect it at all. It caught me completely off guard. But I wasn't really scared. It was kind of just like, wow, like, is this actually happening to me right now? So let me give like a brief summary. The very first thing that I can remember happening to me during the seance was I started getting back pain. And it was like right under my like left shoulder blade, but like near my spine. It was like right here. So, like here. Yeah. So that came about when we decided that we were all going to close our eyes and start to focus our energy. That is when I got the back pain. Shortly after that, I started feeling like I was getting hugged. And it almost felt like I was being separated from everybody in my group. And it didn't feel ominous, it didn't feel like I was in danger, it didn't feel anything like that. It just kind of felt like something was circling me. Like a really big mass of something was circling me and like was putting its arms around me like this. And I just felt really closed in to myself. I was only focused on my own energy at that moment. In between that and when we finally put our hands on the table, I'm starting to hear noises and stuff. We all are. We're hearing growls, the dogs are barking, and you know, there's just a bunch of things going on. Footsteps, growls, voices, a whole 9 yards. That's stuff that like you couldn't really hear on camera. I mean, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Maybe you were watching the live and you heard it. Either way, everybody in the room heard what was going on. Eventually, we finally put our hands on the table, and this is where things started getting weird for me. I mean, I'm sure it got weird for everybody, but for me specifically, things started getting weird right away. More and more noises are intensifying. I start to feel my hand shaking, my right hand. So we have both our hands on the table like this, and all of a sudden, I just start to like kind of feel my hand pivoting. And it's not like it's my whole arm. It's more like it's just like right here, like my wrist to like the half of my hand. And it's like, just like fidgeting, and it's spazzing. And it started out really light, but I couldn't control it. That's the thing. And it got more and more intensified as I kept like paying more attention to it. The more energy and thought that I put into it, the harder it went. So like at some point it's just literally like spazzing. In the last clip of that seance, you can actually see it happening with my hand right there. I'm sure that if you go back, I'll flash it up on the screen right now. You can literally see my hand spazzing out. Like, that was the entire seance. The whole time I put my hands on the table, it was going on. It was crazy. Really quick, I want to add that I also did not feel like I was in danger this entire time. Throughout all of these events, even when my hand started spazzing, the only thing that I really felt was just an insane like surge of energy that was going through my entire body. And I was very mentally focused on just myself in just that moment. I didn't know what was going to happen, I just knew something was happening. And I didn't feel threatened, I was just very present with what I was feeling and what I was going through and experiencing in that moment. Next thing I know, we all decided to take our hands off the seance table and like have some kind of little break, because things were getting intense. The energy was really powerful and surging for everybody that was involved in the seance, and it was very intense. So we took our hands off the table, and then Nick turned on the Geoport, which is basically just a very high-tech spirit box. You guys have seen us use those on Beyond the Dark before. That's what we were using, and then he turns it on, and then immediately it's saying my name. Seth. Message to Seth. 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 It just kept saying my name, and in multiple voices as well. There was a man's voice, there was a female's voice. So many times my name was said throughout that entire situation. And then it started getting like cryptic, you know, it started saying things like, he did not walk the path, and this, and that, and like I didn't understand what that meant, and to this day I still don't understand what that means. Anyway, while we were using the Geoport, at this point I had my hands off the table, but I felt like I needed to put my hands back on the table. I don't know why I felt like that, but I did. And the moment that I did, as soon as I put my hands back on the table, it said my name again. And it was literally using me as a vessel. That's what it felt like. I don't think that I was actually getting possessed, but it just really felt like something was using me to communicate. Eventually, that spirit, whoever, whatever it was, started talking about the cemetery. You know, if you guys watch Josh's videos too, you'll see that he's been to that cemetery with John, and I haven't been there yet. So maybe that's what they're talking about, that I have to go to that cemetery. And then they were saying things like, fix it, it fell. So maybe like a specific gravestone has fallen over and it needs to be fixed. Or Josh was talking about restoring the cemetery. Maybe that's what they meant, you know, go back and restore the cemetery. And then one of the craziest things that I found was when I was going over the footage, we asked, who's the one that's haunting this house? And it said Bathsheba. And that's crazy. because that's not the first time that that's been said in a spirit box or anything like that. The owners, Corey and Jen, have heard that many times, and it's just really freaky to think that that could be a possibility. There's so many things that could be going into this, and we don't really know. That's why I say we have to keep investigating and educating ourselves. Me specifically, I need to understand what's going on here. Anyway, we finally get ready to close the seance, and it's just like impossible to do it because the energy is still there. Like, we all feel it. Megan, the witch, she finally closes the seance that first time. Everybody says that they feel okay, but like me, I was the last one to take my hands off the table, and even when I did, I just knew that something was still there. I don't think that I was possessed, but I actually think I got attached for a second. I think something actually attached itself to me, and if I were to go home that night without like getting cleansed, I think I would have had something come home with me, no doubt. That's honestly how it felt. In the live seance, I actually said, you know, when it feels... During the live stream, I actually said, you know, hell. In the live seance... Jesus, fuck.
Take 17.
So during the live, I actually made the analogy comparing that experience and what the spirit's energy felt like to a splinter, because that's really the only thing that I can really compare it to. It feels like when you get a splinter and it gets really, really deep in your skin. You know how you gotta get like the tweezers or something sharp and you literally gotta cut your skin to get that out? That's kind of how it felt, just like with energy and not a piece of wood. It's a really weird feeling. Excuse me, I just burped really bad. That's how it felt, and I don't really know like how it got there, why it got there, like why it chose me, and why I couldn't let go of it that first time. So if you watch during the cleansing, I had to get cleansed twice, because the first time I couldn't let go of it. It almost felt like I wanted to keep it, but at the same time I wasn't trying to, it just wouldn't go. So we tried cleansing me again, and then when she did that little like thing like that, when she like ripped it out, you know, like when you gotta take the cookies out the oven, you just, it was like that. She just did it like that, and finally, after that, I was fine. Immediately, like it was just gone. Whatever that feeling was, like in my bones, it was gone, and it was so weird. But since then, I haven't felt anything. I mean, honestly, I think I'm okay. I haven't felt anything like that. The only thing that I can say is that now, after that experience, I think since I've exposed myself to what certain energies feel like I know how my regular energy level feels, but when I walk into a room that I know could or is haunted, I can feel that immediately. Maybe it's just because it's one of those things where, like I said, I've finally exposed myself to it, and I know what that energy really feels like now. So now, I mean, ask Casey or anybody, I can walk into a room and I know immediately if there's a spirit in that room with us or not. I don't know if that's some kind of medium thing or a psychic thing or whatever. I don't want to put labels on what I feel, because I don't even know. I'm not fully educated in this like area yet, so I don't want to go saying I'm this or saying I'm that. At the very least, I can say I'm an empath, because I can pick up on even living people's energies. I can pick up on those things very quickly. But when it comes to speaking with the dead or the spirit world, I don't know that much yet. I just know that for whatever reason, they like to gravitate to me. They like to communicate with me. Maybe it's because I'm open-minded. Maybe it's because I'm the youngest in the group. I have no idea. I need to talk with somebody that actually knows what they're doing and knows what they're talking about so that they can educate me. Maybe I'll even start reading. Maybe I'll read a book for once. I haven't read a book since like high school, maybe even earlier, but anyway. I do want to educate myself a little bit more and try to understand what it is that I'm doing, and to investigate more as well so that I can figure out what's going on at the Conjuring House. Because either way, my business there is not done. There's something else that I have to do there, and I don't know what it is, but I know I have to do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had that experience that night. So, that's it, guys. That's really all I have to say. It was honestly a huge privilege for me to be in a seance. First of all, I've never done a seance before, so that was amazing, an amazing experience. But I also got to do it with Josh, obviously, Beyond the Dark. Love doing that with Josh every single time we go to an investigation. It's fun. I got to do it with Nick Groff, which is basically a dream come true. I mean, you know, you watch Ghost Adventures or anything, you know Nick Groff. That's huge for me personally. That's like a lifelong thing that like I can check off the bucket list that I never thought I'd be able to do. So Nick, if you're watching, thanks for having me along. I really appreciate it. It was also just a great time with the owners of the Conjuring House, Corey and Jen. Plus we had Joe and John there. I made new friends, and it was just great. The more that I make these ghost videos, the more that I feel like I'm making friends, I'm understanding the spirit world a little bit more, and I'm also understanding myself a little bit more. Because ever since the first time I've been to the Conjuring House, it's kind of changed the way that I look at the afterlife and the paranormal and all these things. It's kind of like awoke something inside of me, as corny as that sounds. That's really it, guys. There will be more videos coming about the Conjuring House. Maybe not necessarily investigation stuff, but I have unfinished business there, like I said, so I need to continue making videos there. They're not going to be very, very often, but I am going to do it. There's more Conjuring content coming. Obviously, The Conjuring 3 is coming out soon. I'm really excited to watch that now that I don't think I'm going to get scared, because it's like, yo, I think I'm desensitized at this point. I'm really glad that you liked it. Thank you for the ones that actually bought the tickets and watched the live stream and got to chat in the chat room. I was really happy to be in that chat and talk to you guys and have this experience. It was one of a kind and it was very special. So, shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for watching this video, as I really appreciate that too, because that's directly supporting me. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button, turn on those notification bells so that you get a notification every time I upload a video. You don't want to miss it, because I have a lot of stuff coming. Check out the Patreon community, link in the description below if you want to get some exclusive content from me, such as, you know, signed prints, exclusive merch, a secret podcast. Ooh.
Secret podcast.
Secret podcast. Ooh. Follow me on social media if you want to get the behind the scenes stuff. And until next time, be yourself and go explore the world. Peace and thanks for watching. Gotta put it to my chest!